we can heal. I mean, us individuals and also our world. And I'm going to prove it to you. This is going to be the best video you've ever seen. And if you're new, please subscribe and share it with others because I'd like for them to be able to heal as well. And so we're going to start with me. And you don't know who you can become when you come into this world. It's a journey that we each take, and it can be surprising at times. You have no idea where you're going to end up. And so I sent out a message the other day to my mailing list, and I said, "We are unlimited." And then I started giving them examples of people who have done things similar to me, that meaning that they received information that could help others evolve and become who they're meant to become. And I could never explain how I had done that because I receive information precognitively, as I've said before. And that is something that was challenging for me to accept. And I actually didn't want to. I'm saying this because whatever we are, whoever we're meant to become, our authentic self, we can kind of resist that. Because if we didn't, we would move to the places that we could become and our world would look a lot different. And so I put that out, and then I received an email from someone that said, I know all this stuff. Please, they said, please don't insist. Well, what they were responding to, because I said, I recognized what I had, and I said, I have to finish because I haven't done that. I'm 73 years old. I haven't put everything out yet that I know could help people. And I said, I'm changing that. Next week, you'll see that. And they said, please don't insist. I know all these people. I know all this stuff. I know all this stuff, and I know all these people. I thought, that's really interesting because if you knew it all, why didn't you tell me? Because I'm still learning it. I don't think we're ever there. We're not finished. Our consciousness is unlimited. We can develop whatever we want if we don't hold the idea that we know everything. That's all. So I said, that was fascinating. And I thought, if you don't want to listen to my stuff, please unsubscribe and you don't have to see it ever again. But then there was more. So then that I didn't see until after I received my message this morning, because I do this every day. You see, I receive guidance, I receive information, and it's always about what is happening in my life, what's happening in the world. And I attempt to give that to others. And so, but sometimes I go overboard. It's hard for me because I'm this introverted person. So it's really difficult that I'm now at at this age, putting all this out there because, see, I kept hidden for many years, as many of us might do. We hide from that authentic self of who we are because it's unknown, and we have this built-in fear of the unknown, individually and both collectively. But I'm going to read you the message that came up for today. All of this is on my website, anyadvicefortoday.com, so you can go back and look at it there because there's also a video that I did this morning to talk about it a little bit more because I wanted people to understand. But the title of the message was, You Can't Lead a Horse to Water. You can lead a horse to water. That's it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't cause him to drink. You can't make him drink. We have all heard that. But I don't do that all the time. I keep trying to get people to understand because it's so important to me. But let me read you the message first. But you can find it as well. And all of these, again, are on my website. And so you on the any advice for today, but you'll be able to read it there. But I'll do it now. And it's this, because it goes back a couple of years. There's an alignment. I put out a video the other day saying the universe is aligned because I wanted to show you how I'd received messages that were aligned with what was happening in our world. I couldn't explain that ever. And so I know it's challenging for others to get that, but here we go. You can lead a horse to water. That is a famous saying you all know, and you all know it. You even see the rest, which is that you can't force them to drink. Many of you attempt that feat and find you inadvertently leave yourself out. You will understand that confusing statement today, for that is our message. That is what our messenger has done. And you could find yourself in that position due to the restructuring of you and your world. We provided a message on this date 2 years ago and a live conversation. We had our messenger resurrect it all several days ago. And as you read the message and listen to the video, we urged him to record. You will find more of your purpose and decide to live it today. And this was from 2 years ago. Today, you have an opportunity to understand your purpose. You can, for it's always an option for you. But we also mean the live conversation we will have with you later today. Roger questioned why more of you have yet to register, as it is free and you don't have to attend. This conversation is a chance for you to engage, to be heard, and to feel valued in your journey of self-discovery. When you have information you know will help another, you can become anxious when they do not receive it or can't hear you. You are meant to listen to yourself. That is what we will discuss today. You exist in a world now at an extraordinary time on your evolutionary journey for that and that of your world. Still, most of you do not fully understand your importance and how your existence shapes your reality and the new world you are all fashioning now, which is your purpose, which we will explain later. We understand that the past several years may have been confusing and challenging for you and your world, but they are also been formative and ripe with possibilities for you to manifest a magnificent life and world. This is a time of transformation, a time of potential. If you want to understand your purpose, you will find that you are not you will find that and you and not just fine, but on the brink of something truly extraordinary. That was a typo there. So, but anyway, on the brink of something extraordinary. And then there's a video there because I want you to listen because what it does is I talk about it, and then I replay the session from 2 years ago because most people would not have heard it, and it explains so much that is going on in our world today. Now, getting you to understand or believe that would be challenging. It was challenging for me to accept that I was doing it. Even when I do a Wilhelm channeling session, I'm always getting new information because we're not done. Our consciousness is ever evolving as individuals and also as a planet. And that's what's going on now. And so that came up. And so I thought, that's what I've been doing, trying to get people to really understand, and that's not helpful. I know people will because I'm so compassionate and I just want people to really get it because also I know that the more of us who decide to love who we are and understand our purpose, we have a very different world. But you begin to understand at a certain point that everything is energy. And so we see a lot of energy happening in our world right now, and it looks disruptive. But I was given information that says, no, well, we could use it to then create a better world, create better lives first, because it's each individual. When we heal, that's what occurs. I could never explain to people how I could move through my life, move through every tragedy, difficulty, illness, disease, and be healed now. It's because when you start to understand your purpose, you let go of the stress, you let go of all of those things. And yes, you start to look younger too, which is really a wonderful thing that happens. But the physical things that I have healed, that's why I said we are unlimited. And that's the information that I want to give to others. That's the only reason I did my work. That's the only reason I did my program. It's also the reason for my next channeling session, because I know that more will come through then. And we are going to feel so much more of that. But now the message for tomorrow, why I call this video We Can Heal. And this, again, is on my website because it's there from last year, but it's for the date July 29th. But let's read it today. July 29th, 2023. You can heal. We mean you and your world, for they are the same. But when you decide to engage in your healing, not only do you live the life you always envision, but it provides you with the ability to recognize and utilize your innate gifts. When you come to the physical plane, you do so with the agreements you accepted of the challenges and difficulties you might move through, but also with the potential of evolving as you never thought possible. And it is the same for your world. But that requires your linear time. So we gave you a message on this date in 2012. The more of you who accept this message, the faster you and your world will heal. But the bonus for you will be your freedom and regaining your ability to love yourself and excel in every imaginable way. It is also the reason for our live conversation next week. We want you to accept and appreciate every aspect of you. Then back to 2012, any judgment, and this will be, I'm just saying this will be something that we're all going to need to come up with, realize now as we move through the changes in our world. Any judgment you hold about another merely reflects some particular judgment you hold about yourself. The reason other person shows up in your physical life experience is so you might have the opportunity to practice forgiveness. While initially you think you are granting, so to speak, that forgiveness to the other, you are actually giving that forgiveness to yourself. When you remember that any form of judgment is merely a limitation blocking your current moment awareness, you can then seek greater awareness, which is your desired expansion. Now, that came through in 2012. I didn't do that. I'm just saying that it's a process and I had to work through it just like we all. But then what happens is you heal. And if you go to my website, and I've said this before, and look at all the messages and go back to the one from 2016, which is the earliest one that's on there, you will see that I talked about racism and misogyny because I had to look at it within myself. And that's how we heal. When we can let go of any generational beliefs or ideas that we have, then we heal. This is what our world is moving through right now. So I'm going to give one other thing because this is going to be really helpful, especially for tomorrow. I'm just saying that because I can feel the energies of what would happen. But I'm out to dinner last night with someone, and they're talking about all the things that they were going through, all the challenges, and it just on and on and on. And so I stopped at some point and I go, well, what's the biggest thing you think you're feeling right now? And they said anger. I said, oh, okay, great. We have a solution for you. And I probably received it in 2012, just like many of the other things that I received. And so I went to find a message. However, I'll tell you it's on my website, but it's on a date of 2022. But I'm going to show you that one as well, because this is probably going to be the most helpful for many people now. So what I did at dinner, I pulled out my phone actually, and I went to the message from 2012. But I'm going to take you back to 2022 because it was repeated then. Because see, it takes a while for me to accept things, as it does for all of us, and it takes for our world as well. Okay, some of your anger is generational. We said some of it is that, but you have generated the other part. You came to the world to make a difference. And as we have said, this restructuring of your world is accomplished by restructuring you. When you have not honored who you are, it can become a sense of frustration. And we gave you another way to consider what you may witness in your life and world. This is the message from 2012. And I must say, when I read this to this person, they sat there for a moment in just like this kind of state of shock because they said, oh, after all the stuff I've been doing, this answered the question right there. And it is this: you experience anger because of your inability to change something. That statement is meant to be as broad as it is, for you will be hard pressed to find exceptions. You will experience a particular event, situation, circumstance, or person that arouses a sense of frustration within you, and you express it in anger. It is never that you do not have the ability to change whatever it is, but it is that you have yet to allow that particular way to enter your consciousness. At times, the way may be a change in your thinking or perception, or that way may be in your choice of words or actions. Whatever the case, you would do well to allow the anger to surface so you can use it in your transformation and expansion. And see, that is one that I have suffered with most of my life because I don't want to upset the apple cart. And so I don't want to be angry. But then sometimes what happens is you arouse that anger so that you can come into deciding that you're going to accept yourself. Never about projecting it and giving it to another, because then you defeat the entire purpose of your healing. You see, because the only way you heal is when you can let go of the anger that you carry, which is typically about ourselves, that we're not doing something that we know we could do. And I've done that. That's why I'm changing things. That's why I said we are unlimited, and I wanted everyone to know. And I'm going to keep doing that. And I hope to see you in the either at the channeling session or private session if you'd like to do that. I'm doing private sessions, so that I just want you to understand that because I access information for you as I've done for doing a live session. So it doesn't matter either one. And check out the program. But please know that you are unlimited and you can create whatever you decide that you want in your life. It is a skill that we develop individually and collectively as we develop more things. I just developed this thing. See you soon.